All right. Happy Tuesday. Typically on a Monday, but I was getting some work done yesterday, as I'm doing every day, but in the morning. Welcome back. I got this question a little bit over the past couple weeks, and I want to share something with you guys as it pertains to being in production for yourself. And what I mean by being in production is producing your own merchandise, producing your own merch, and what that comes with, and the pitfalls and the hurdles you could jump through to actually achieve, any kind of income. The first thing I'm going to say is start small. I know a lot of people that are very gung-ho about their ideas and getting the ball rolling and just dumping all their resources in to kind of get this thing started. May have mentioned this previously when it comes to streaming. People buy, the best cameras, the best microphones. You name, they've dumped thousands of dollars into their setup to eventually find out that it's not really they're not really cut out for it. They don't really enjoy the process, and all that stuff goes to waste when they resell it. When it comes to producing your own merchandise and making your own things, there is a huge margin of profit that can be made at the expense of the headache of the actual production. So when it comes to making your own things and starting small, what I mean by starting small is this: make sure you have someone in your audience. Make sure you have an audience, number one. Make sure you have someone in your audience that will actually purchase these things. That is to mean that the things you are producing actually align with the ideals and the vibe that you give off, that they would like to purchase it. When it comes to the things I produce, I make things that I want to wear. And the art I produce, even though it's wildly different, the designs I produce are wildly different, they all are a good representation of who I am and what I like to do and the things I really enjoy. That should be the same for you, for the most part. Now, you can go and just trend jump and make things that are going to sell, and that's also a very viable plan and viable solution, but it'd be a lot harder to build that actual clientele, not clientele, but it'd actually be a lot harder to build that audience. And it will be kind of like just relying on the algorithm of the social media platform that you're actually working in. Therein lies the problem with the algorithms. Anybody's been on Instagram or Twitter know how that can kind of shake out. And outside of that is buying ads, which is not really starting small. So, in the future you can kind of, invest more. But when it comes to making your own shirts and making your own stickers and producing them and selling them, there are always your jump off points. Your jump off points would be direct to garment sites like your Threadless, your Cafe Press, your Design by Humans. Those kind of sites will let you upload your designs and actually sell them at a storefront. Now, on Redbubble, it's one of the bigger ones, Redbubble. The thing about those sites are, even though people will buy from them, they don't really have the personal representation, your personal brand represented well on those sites, because it's not Threadless, it's Redbubble. And if anybody's been in this like producing merch like business as long as I have, I started using Cafe Press in like 2002, maybe 2003, is that every DTG site, direct to garment site, they're not created equally. Some of the designs you get will look pretty good and they'll hold up for a long time. And some of them, if you wash them twice, they're going to fall apart in 30 seconds. That is the kind of the trade-off of not having to own the inventory and house all that merchandise in home, is you can do it direct to garment, kind of like the sites. The way I do things is my brand, as a designer, is I've moved away from doing more of that stuff to taking the money I made from doing direct garment, which I can share with you. Like what I made on Threadless last year was something like $1,700, $2,000, something like that. Which may sound like a substantial amount of money, but in the long run, if I were to make the shirts myself, I would have made maybe 3 times that. And that's, through a website, through their platform. The thing is, when you are going to produce these things in home, you have to be cognizant that you can, in fact, produce these things well, be able to store these things, and have proper logistics to ship these things out to people. So what I'm going to give you now are my steps to producing the merchandise that I make. Now, right now, I'm just doing stickers and t-shirts, which I've been doing for a very long time. Previously, I'd used an outside screen printer who would actually screen print the shirts for me and, ship me a box, or ship me the hoodies, and they'll ship me a box. Now I'll put them in bags and I'll ship them off to my clients and to people who actually bought them. The downside of that is you are losing money to the screen printing fee. People are it's a lot longer time to actually produce the material. So if you were to reach into a larger screen printer, it's going to take somewhere between 3 to 5 weeks. At a fairly reputable place. You can go to a local place, maybe get it done within a week or two. All depends on how you want to do it. But you're still losing money, in the long run. But you're saving time and convenience and not having to actually do that extra step. So sometimes that money's worth it, and sometimes it's not. When it comes to the way I produce things, or the way I've been aiming to produce things for a long time, is making everything in-house, or making the vast majority of things I make in-house, especially when it comes to stickers. People love stickers. I love stickers. You like stickers. Everybody loves stickers. The side effect of ordering stickers from any kind of sticker app, and they can have some high quality stickers, is if you buy 100 stickers and you don't sell all 100 of them, say you sell 30 of them, you're sitting on 70 stickers. I think maybe a few years ago I ordered maybe $1,000 in stickers, and I thought these things were going to fly. I was very confident these things were going to fly off the shelves. I still have some of those stickers, okay? So there's the upside of producing things in-house yourself, is you can make a certain number of things and then stop. And then when more orders come in, you can actually produce more, and you're not sitting on this huge inventory and backlog of actual merchandise. The side effect of that is if you sell a lot, you have to produce a lot, and that takes a lot of time to actually produce, and then print every sticker, then cut it, and then bag it, and then get into its proper mailing. That's the kind of the downside of that, which I think is an upside. I mean, not having the inventory ready at will can be a little bit rough, but you're saving money on sticker paper. You're saving money on time investment if these things are not selling. And you can actually kind of pivot to more ideas, and actually you can still remake those stickers in the future, but you don't have to. You have the option to do something else instead of kind of trying to press the same back order of inventory forever and ever and ever until people get tired of looking at it, including yourself. When it comes to shirts, if you guys knew, I just started producing my own screen printing shirts in-house. And here's the front, and here's the back. This is the first one, and you can see how I took this one because it's the one that has not the best printing on the lower half. And this is just to remind myself that, everything you do is a process, and you gotta learn from it. But I'm still really proud of the things I made here. And I'm really proud of the response to the drop I made, which comes back to the second thing I mentioned, is having an audience to actually engage with the things you make. Which you looked at last week's video. I hope you looked at last week's video. The double-edged sword of fan art is bringing and onboarding your audience onto your journey with you as a designer, as a content creator. and how important that is to actually make some kind of income for yourself through the people who enjoy what you do. So I made a list. I made a little short list, Roller. Okay. Now, the blast and most important part: finding out what it would cost you to order these things from a shipper, a printer, who are going to produce the merchandise for you, high quality stuff, stickers. So like check out, Sticker Mule, Sticker Wrap, Sticker Robot. You can check out all those sites and see what it is for 100 stickers. Figure that out for the inches and everything. And then I want you to take a look at what is behind me. I am not sponsored, but this is a Silhouette Cameo cutter. This was like $270. And I did my first sticker drop about a month ago. We talked about it. This thing paid for itself about halfway through the first pre-order drop. So there is very high, there's a lot of money to actually be saved just in producing things yourself, and then finding out what your sticker paper costs, getting high quality sticker paper, finding out all the kind of the nuances of that, and then figuring out what it would cost to actually produce a t-shirt and to order a high quality t-shirt and sell it yourself. Now, when it comes to that, there are a ton of options to actually screen print at home and to do direct to garment at home and even do vinyl presses. Those things are all going to come into play when you actually go to think about what you want to make and how much money it will cost. So you're going to think about your cost and your profit. So if I make this shirt at $25, a front and back shirt, how much I'm paying for the t-shirt? How much is the ink I had to use to produce it? How much ink will I have to actually produce a number of shirts? That's going to be things you're going to think about when you actually go to sit down and produce the things you actually want to make. And lastly is the more the more tedious part about any of this, because I have fun making the actual merchandise. The hardest part is shipping. I hate shipping, but shipping is necessary evil to get your product into people's hands. I am currently using Stamps.com. I got a little sticker printer. Not sticker printer. I got a label printer, and I got a little scale to weigh my packages to get the proper postage to actually send out the actual the mailers and stuff. Geez, the coffee's not kicking in yet. You can see the coffee's not kicking in. All right, but that kind of saves me a lot of time. What I learned by investing in that setup which costs a little bit of money to get into. It's not very much, but a little bit of money. The more volume you actually produce, the better. But I've wasted thousands of dollars at my local, shipping place. Not even UPS, just shipping, just postage, just USPS, and not doing this at home. And I can do it at home and then just drop off my packages and walk away knowing that everything's paid for and I'm not paying an arm and a leg. I think when I first got into this, I was making hoodies and stuff, to ship from home. I was actually making shirts to sell at a convention. I made hoodies at home, and then I didn't realize how much a hoodie costs to ship through a shipper. If you take them, so they have to actually take it, weigh it themselves. All that stuff goes into the actual cost when you pay for that shipping, especially in bulk. So, I hope that helps out. Think about what you want to make, and then figure out, is anyone even interested in buying what you make? Now, two things could happen. There's someone interested in buying what you make, but they don't know who you are, which is a huge problem on any site or any, on any part of the planet, actually. And the second thing is, when you're making these things, you have to take a step back and kind of make some executive decisions about the marketability of your product. What I mean by that is, as somebody who uses their name a lot on, on a lot of the things they make for themselves, I really enjoy it. Use Conquer on, it's my mug, it's my coffee. Hey, there we go. I got my own coffee blend. I got my own blended coffee from King's Coast Coffee. I really enjoy using my name. Now, everything doesn't be plastered with your name. If you want to sell stuff. And the other thing is, when you're producing stuff, you have to be very careful about things you use. And I mean by IPs, as we talked about in the last video. Watch that video. Somewhere you can click something, maybe. I don't know where, because I haven't set that stuff up, but you can watch the last video. So make things that resonate with your audience. Have fun doing it. But importantly, most importantly for you buy anything, is make sure there's going to be, you have an actual fan there to actually produce it. So purchase it. There's nothing more frustrating than buying 100 shirts, high quality shirts, and then sitting on 95 of them, cleanly sold 5. This takes a lot of footwork on social media. This takes a lot of posting. This takes being consistent. This takes a lot more work than people are actually are interested in investing in, and ensuring that the things they make are successful. Doesn't mean you should yell about your products, the things you make, like, every post every day. I would stop following you because that's annoying. I would stop following me because that's annoying. So I hope this helped out. Look into what you want to make. Figure out how to make it, because all I did was look on YouTube, and you can too. Or you can find somebody who does what you'd like to do. You can ask me. I asked a good friend of mine, Dr. Jones, about screen printing. He was very helpful in finding the equipment I needed. Then find out how much all that stuff costs and what you need and do not need. And then figure out how much stuff you need to actually sell to turn a profit. Maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a few months. Can you afford to do this? These are all important questions before you actually go to actually spend hundreds to thousands of dollars on your setup. Because in the long run, you may find out that you've just wasted this money, which you don't want to do, or that you're not in love with the process. And it may be better to give that money to somebody who will produce it for you. So this might be a longer one today, but I thought this was very important. So with that, you guys have a great one. Get out there and make that stuff. Make the thing. If you don't want to spend all that money up front, use DTG sites. It's okay. I did for a long time. You know what? I still do. Okay. I will see you guys next week. We are starting to get back on track with everything. Life has been a roller coaster, as you've seen. I'll see you guys next week, though. And keep fighting a good fight. Till next time, guys.